But did anyone actually use while or for loops? Who actually used one? What was your example of a while loop?
I didn't really use a while loop. I used a for loop.
Okay. Just give us an example so we can have a picture of it.
I used it to make spirals.
Okay.
Should I go into more detail?
Why would you use a for loop? What would be the reasoning?
You can use a for loop mostly for running a loop a set number of times, rather than just until a condition is false.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right, so the ones I'm going to cover, and there's probably other ones, but there's something called a while loop, and then there's a for loop. And then, can anyone guess what the third one would be?
You must do one.
Infinite. There's an infinite loop. So you can think about that, because we didn't actually probably bring it up. It might be in there somewhere. But just based on what you've seen, because I don't think many people used loops in theirs, but it's a basic part of programming, and that's why we're bringing it up now. Can anyone say in just a few words from what Will said or what you read of what Brian wrote, how would you describe what a loop is in programming? Go ahead, Daniel.
Basically something that repeats itself over and over again unless an additional command is given to stop it.
I would say the exact same thing. That's perfect. It's just exactly what Daniel said. Just repeat it until there's something that tells it to stop. Okay, so let me just do the for loop first so you can wait for the hammer. I'm going to say that, and this isn't always true, but just generally I'm going to say it. For a for loop, let's just say it's a finite number of times. Okay. So does everyone remember when you did Brian's game, there was a treasure chest? Do you remember that? And anyone remember some of the stuff that was in the treasure chest?
Gold.
Yeah, gold. Yeah. I think diamonds was the other thing. So there's 4 things in the treasure chest. You can put something else in. What do you want to put in it?
It's a joke.
What is it called?
He said a joke. He said he was going to put swag in his.
Oh, swag. Oh, no, I don't mind. We can have 5 things. I think that's cool. Now that I know what ratchet means. Okay. Okay, so
Isn't it like a wrench or something?
it is. It is. It's also the lady that was in...
The slang term means wretched.
Oh, is it from that?
Yeah.
All right, so if I'm in a game, at some point I'm going to want to say, oh, I want to see what's in the treasure chest. So one way I could do it is just say, print gold, print sword, print silver, print diamonds, print swag. But that, it gets a little tedious to have to keep typing in those print statements. So if you guys remember, do you remember there was a list? And then I think it had these brackets around it. And the way that Brian showed that you can do it, you can just say for, and then we usually have we call it a counter, but we're just going to say treasure. But it's usually, we're kind of counting from the beginning to the end. For treasure, in the treasure chest, and I'm writing pseudocode on what Kevin had was real code. All I'm going to say is print this thing, print treasure. And then what it's going to do is it's going to loop through for each of the things in here. It's going to automatically print because it's just walking through step by step. So that's a for loop. Does that make sense that you could always use the same thing. If you put more things in your treasure chest, say there were 10 things, you wouldn't have to rewrite this. It's just going to see that you put those in the list. So that's one kind of loop. That's a for loop. I'm going to call it a finite loop. And then when you get to 100 or 1,000 or any of those things, it'll, in this case, it's going to automatically know how to walk through the list. It's going to walk through one by one. Okay, now while loop, this is my example for while. And we don't have to have any code for this. A while loop, just in general terms, is we're going to continue to do something, like Will said, until there's a condition that makes us stop. So say that I'm going to write a while loop that tells a machine how to hit the nail and then just keep hitting it until it's flush. Everyone know what flush means? It's flat. Okay, so if I'm a person, I'm going to put the nail in, I'm going to hit it, and well, just pretend, because I'm covering up the screw part. Okay, so I'm just going to hit it. It's not flush. I'm going to hit it again. I'm just going to keep doing that until it's flush. That's the condition. So the way that I would write a while loop if I was going to tell a machine how to hammer stuff in is I would say, while this is not flush with the surface, I'm going to hit it. And then if I'm flush with the surface, I'll stop. And if I'm not flush, I'm going to just continue that same sequence again. I'm going to keep hitting until I'm flush with it. Everyone get the idea that there's a condition that is going to stop it? All right, so the third one is the infinite loop. Now, suppose that I have this program that's running this machine, and suppose I got someone's fingers stuck here, and there's a safety feature, so it's never going to get flush with the surface. It might get flush with my hand, but it's not with the surface. What's going to happen? It's just going to do this forever because it didn't meet the condition of it being flush. That's what we call an infinite loop. Has anyone ever heard of an expression when a program is, what is it doing? It's hanging. Has anyone heard that expression?
No.
If you're writing a program and you're in an infinite loop and it just keeps doing the thing, it's hanging. You'll hear, when you're in a company and you're working, you're going to hear about people saying, oh, I must have an infinite loop because the program's hanging. Okay, so that's just some ideas for when you do write more programs, maybe in this part 2 or in the future. It's just a way to distinguish for while and infinite. Now, it is possible for a while loop to be infinite. Okay, so I was just trying to give you general ideas. Anybody have questions or another example of what a loop would be? Oh, you do.
I can't though, I'm recording.
Okay, all right. Okay, Jim. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, that's good.